Hey, what's up, everyone? Quentin Figueroa with SlayerMint.com, and I'd like to talk to you about how entrepreneurs work for free. Okay, so that might sound kind of obvious, but it's something that I think is important to note and it's worth talking about. So let's kind of just explore that a little bit. Now, I've been an entrepreneur for most of my adult life. I'm 32 now. I've been entrepreneur since like high school. And it's something that I've been doing, and it's something that I'm kind of familiar with and used to now. And so I kind of want to talk a little bit about that and kind of compare it to being an employee, right? So being an employee and being an entrepreneur, they're two completely different things. They have kind of two different ways that people uh, look at things and kind of the way that they work. Now, with being an employee, you're obviously collecting a paycheck, right? And when you're getting a paycheck, you're basically exchanging your time for money. That's kind of how that works, right? There's usually no equity involved. It's kind of more of a short term thing. It's kind of more of an immediate thing. It's like an instant gratification thing. There is no real deferral of gratification, right? You just go in there and you collect your paycheck, within the, first few weeks or month or whatever. And it's kind of a steady, ongoing thing, right? So that's kind of the employee paycheck side of things, right? And then on the other side of things, you have kind of more of the business owner, the entrepreneur, right? And then obviously with business, you're not necessarily collecting a steady paycheck. You don't really know if you are going to get paid. And it's kind of more of like a risk type thing, right? I mean, I think people kind of know this, which is why a lot of people kind of avoid becoming an entrepreneur or might not want to become one, which is totally understandable, right? So people know that when you're an entrepreneur, you have this kind of equity piece, right? Where you might have like a bigger payoff later, but there's a risk to it. And there's a time element where it might not happen immediately. It might never happen. You just don't know. So there's that part of it. So yeah, with an entrepreneur, with a business, nothing is for sure. And there are no guarantees, right? So yeah, when you're building a business, you are working for free, right? Your skills as an entrepreneur might be worth like $100 an hour if you were to go work for some company, right? You might be very skilled at certain things and they might find you worth $100 an hour for what you can do, for like what you know. But when you're an entrepreneur, nobody's paying you $100 an hour, at least when you're starting out. You are working for free. You're making $0 an hour trying to find a way to build some type of business, some type of value to people that customers will want to pay you for, and then you can obviously make some type of income from your customers rather than from, a boss paying you a paycheck. And it's a totally different type of way about going at things, right? And being an employee, it's not a bad thing, and being an entrepreneur, it's not a good thing. These are just time preferences, right? People have different time preferences. It may be better for somebody to be an employee and collect a steady paycheck and be able to kind of have more free time with their family and friends and kind of live the life that they want to live that way, where somebody like maybe more of like a single person or somebody who has more free time, or just somebody who enjoys kind of doing the entrepreneur thing, they might enjoy that mode a lot more, and they might enjoy kind of the risk, and they might enjoy like the bigger payoffs over the long term if they do things right. They might enjoy how they're rewarded for making smart decisions and this kind of stuff. So it's a time preference thing, and people choose kind of relative to their time preference and their skills and that type of thing, and just their overall kind of life scenario. And you don't obviously have to be one or the other. You could be both. And most of the most successful entrepreneurs, they do kind of do it on the side while they have a job, and they're kind of exploring things and testing stuff out because they know they're not getting paid for it and they might fail, and it might take a lot of tries before something hits. So people are doing that on the side and that kind of thing. So yeah, this is obviously obvious stuff, but it's kind of good to remind yourself sometimes, I think, and to just kind of go through that. So that's kind of what I want to do. So yeah, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's probably a good idea to find something that you really love and are passionate about, because you're going to be doing a lot of it for free. So you want to make sure, if it's something that you're doing for free, that you're enjoying yourself and you're not just wasting your life doing something you don't like. You should really find like, what is it in the world that I enjoy? What are my passions? What can I add, unique value to? What would I, if I had like, a ton of money, what would I do in my free time anyway? That kind of stuff. And you just work towards that because that's how you're going to do the best work. And yeah, it's obviously a little tricky because, somebody might want to just play like music all day. And, how do you now turn that into something that makes money? And that is kind of the hard part. And that is something that takes, understanding and patience and work to really try to figure out a way to make money doing something that you enjoy. It's not easy, but it's probably a good idea to do it on the side when you're starting out for those reasons. Because, yeah, you're basically volunteering your time for a cause that you believe in. You're working for free. That's what entrepreneurs do. They work for free until they eventually don't. So looking in from the outside, people see businesses making large sums of money, right? And they'll say like, this guy's lucky, this guy's privileged, they were born with it, blah, 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 that type of thing. And yeah, of course, that's true in some cases. Some people are born wealthy, or they do get lucky, or they are privileged or whatever. That's obviously a component. However, with most entrepreneurs you talk to, they didn't get there by luck. They just got there by trying things a long time, with just good old fashioned hard work. They just kept pushing at something, kept, trying to get better, just putting lots of time into things until it eventually worked. I mean, that's kind of how it works. People don't see the decades of failures and all the free work that the entrepreneur was doing while the other person was out, just making a steady paycheck and, having their free time and doing that type of thing. People don't see kind of the sacrifices and the alternative choices that are made by these entrepreneurs. All the work that they're doing before it actually pays off. People don't see that, right? It's just kind of like the roots in a tree. People don't see beneath like the surface, or like an iceberg. They might see the tip of it, but they don't see how deep down, it's been growing, and there's all this matter behind that just small piece that you see. So yeah, people don't see the unseen cause, which created the seen effect of wealth. They just kind of look at like this one piece, and it's like, oh, this guy's an overnight success. And it's like, well, no, that's not the case. It's like, this guy's been working freaking for a long time at it. And most people wouldn't want to do the steps that this person did to get there. They wouldn't want to put it off that long. It's like this crazy time preference where they're able to defer the gratification for like years or decades before it finally pays off. And most people just don't want to go through that. And it's like totally understandable. It's like, yeah, I kind of get that. So yeah. Some entrepreneurs are lucky, or they're born with it, or what have you. I mean, obviously that's there, but yeah, most people just get there through good old fashioned hard work. It's not magic. There's no magic formula to it at all. It's just working with something, messing with things, testing things over and over again, just working for free for a long time until something eventually hits. That's pretty much how it works. And it's something worth noting. Entrepreneurs, they work for free. That's kind of how it works. So thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.